Welcome on in, Dragon Folk, to another episode of us going over the color challenge decks for Magic the Gathering Arena. I know a lot of the times the decks come out and people go, well, I get that it's these two colors, but what do the two colors mean, right? Like, what does it generally mean for the concept of the deck? Well, that's what I'm hoping these guides will help you with. It is, of course, you guys, if you've seen these videos, you know the drill already. We go through 5 games of standard play, and we see what our ratio is at the end of it. A lot of them tend to go right around average, maybe like 3 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 3 losses. We've had some that have gone 4 wins, 1 loss, or 0 and 5. Sometimes those happen, and it's all obviously depending on the decks that we go against, right? And all obviously the hands that we get. But without further ado, let's jump into today's deck, which is Lifeline. Lifeline is the Selesnya deck, which Selesnya is the color combination of green and white. Selesnya focuses a lot on getting your low-cost creatures to get +1/+1 counters normally to kind of buff them to the point where they're able to be very big, powerful creatures. You also have some life gain in here too, so it's a lot of keeping yourself alive, and then maybe every time you gain life doing something, something happens kind of deal. So it's a lot about gaining life and then gaining +1/+1 counters on top of that. So we're going to go over the deck real quick, and then we're going to obviously do the actual, the set, the 5 of 5 games. But first, we're going to go ahead and get into this. So we have Lifeline, starts with 2 Cleric class, probably one of the best classes to come out of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. It's so powerful, and you're able to do a lot with it. Essentially, how this works is you level it up. So you pay it, it's cost 1 white to pay to get it onto the field, and its ability is if you would gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead. So more life, right? If you were gaining 3 life, you gain 4 life instead, so on and so forth. And then, as you get more mana onto the board, you can then level up your class, and it gets these additional abilities. So obviously, if you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, like I had stated before. And then, at level 3, you can actually get a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield and gain life equal to its toughness. So you'll gain the life from the creature you bring back to the board, and you'll get the +1/+1 counter because you gained life, and you'll get +1 health on top of that because of your original Cleric class. So that is kind of the whole shebang with that. So if you're trying to do math with like Righteous Valkyrie, this will kind of help you realize that. Fortifying Drought, green card, you gain 2 life, target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So, for 1 green, you can gain 2 life and then give a creature +2/+2 until end of turn at a default. But, if you ended up gaining more than that, let's say you gained 6 life this turn, and then you play this card, you'll have gained 8 life by the time this card is done, which means your creature will get +8/+8. For a turn. It's pretty terrifying considering how much you can get off. And if you have Cleric class out, you technically gain 3 life, which is a 3/3 until end of turn. Very powerful. Revitalize. It's a pretty straightforward card. You gain 3 life and draw a card. And so it's nice for life gain, it's nice for getting draw power, and it's pretty cheap, and it's an instant. So if your opponent is about to rip cards from your hand, you can always just play this, and at least you'll be able to you're not going to want to play this if they're going to rip cards from your hands, but because then you'll have to discard, but so on and so forth. You at least get some new stuff. Story Seeker, Lifelink. So Lifelink is if you deal damage with a creature, you get its power as life. So not bad. Devouring Tendrils, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. When the permanent you don't control dies this turn, you gain 2 life. This is a nice way around Loth. Loth the Spider Queen is a very powerful planeswalker, but her whole thing is that she gets a lot of stuff out on the board to kind of protect her. So this is a way to kind of go around it, which is really nice. Inscription of Abundance. You can pay 2, and you can choose one. If it was kicked, you can choose 2 instead, or you can choose any number instead. So you don't have to choose 2, choose as many as you want. So for 5, you can do any of these, which is put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. And target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So, a lot of things going on with that one, but it is genuinely a very good card. And very well, for what it is in green, you're going to be able to get a lot of use from it. Prosperous Innkeeper, one of the best uncommons from the Adventures of the Forgotten Realms set. Enters the battlefield, you create a treasure token. Treasure tokens allow you to get more mana for things. And then whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. So you get life every time you play something. Now, what I imagine to be the monster of the deck is Trelasara Moondancer. She costs 2, a white and green. And whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on Trelasara Moondancer and you scry. Now, if you recall, all of these cards above here all help gain life. So, the odds of you gaining life are pretty good. Especially if you have Prosperous Innkeeper out and then you play Trelasara, you then get the 1 life and then she automatically gets the 1/1 counter and you get to scry. It's just good things. Celestial Unicorn. When you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Celestial Unicorn. Again, another +1/+1 counter card. This one costs a little bit more as it costs 3, but the big thing is you're just going to be gaining life all the time, so very good. Core Celebrant. Whenever Core Celebrant or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So, same deal with Prosperous Innkeeper. You get a life every time you play it. And these all stack, for instance. So, this guy's life gain is different from this guy's life gain. So, if both of these are on the field and then you play Trelasara, you get the life gain from Core Celebrant, and then you get the life gain from Prosperous Innkeeper, which means that she gets +2/+2. 2 +1/+1 counters, essentially. Same goes for Celestial Unicorn. Very cool. Minimum's Containment. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted not permanent is a treasure artifact with tap. This sacrifices target artifact, add 1 mana of any color, and it loses all other abilities. So, this is a way to kind of get your opponent's creatures to not become creatures anymore. Unfortunately, they do become 1 extra mana for your opponent, but it's very useful in what it's meant to be. Righteous Valkyrie, literally probably one of the most amazing cards in the set. In all of Kaldheim, I think. One of the best, next to like Valky and Vorinclex. Righteous Valkyrie is a fantastic card. Same deal. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. And then if you have at least 7 life more than your starting total, creatures you control get +2/+2. So, we need angels or clerics. Cleric, unicorn. Cleric, citizen. Cleric, clerics. There's a lot of clerics. Not a ton of angels, but there are clerics. And it's just enough to also get that +2/+2. So you might want to run another one of these if you are looking to, like, better the deck, but not exactly necessary right now. Lurking Roper doesn't untap during your untap step. When you gain life, untap Lurking Roper. So, a very powerful card, but of course it could essentially get stuck if there's no way for you to gain life. So, it's a little meh, but it is nice. This is your mythic for the set, which is Icing Death Frost Tyrant, one of the legendary dragons from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. It's got flying and vigilance, which means it doesn't tap when you attack. And when Icing Death Frost Tyrant dies, create a Icing Death Frost Tongue, a legendary white equipment artifact token with equipped creature gets +2/+0. And whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. So that's nice because if it does end up dying, because it's got kind of a low health, low toughness, if it does die, you get a equipment out of it that essentially lets you attack and then tap their creatures, which is nice. Accomplished Alchemist, you can tap to add 1 mana of any color, and then you can add X mana of any 1 color, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So if you're trying to drop something super strong, you could use that ability if you have it available to you. And it costs no mana to use, it just you have to gain life, so not bad. You meet in a tavern. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of creature cards from among them and put them into your hand. And then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Or your creatures control get +2/+2 until end of turn. So that's a nice way to just buff your whole line, go wide, buff your whole line, and then just attack. So you better hope your opponent doesn't play a lot of board wipes, because that's unfortunate. Pillar Drop Rescuer. It's a 5-drop for 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So 3 or less, you're probably looking at Righteous Valkyrie. Maybe Trellisara. Maybe Prosperous Innkeeper, not sure. But, an alright card, it's a flyer. I wish it had more damage, but eh. Then you have Driss de Werden. This is a double strike Elf Ranger 3/3 for 5. When it enters the battlefield, you get a 4/1 cat creature token. And then, whenever a creature dies, if it had power greater than Driss's power, put a number of ++1 counters on Driss equal to the difference. So, if something is stronger than Driss's, you get the difference in counters. Pretty cool. It's kind of like the Monolith, or the Ozolith, but not really. Then, of course, a big card in your deck is the Valkyrie Harbinger. Fantastic card. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 or more life, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. And if you have Righteous Valkyrie on the board, Valkyrie Harbinger you'll get the 5 health from it, and then you'll, at the end of your turn, because you gained the 5 health with Righteous Valkyrie, you then will gain a 4/4 angel token with Valkyrie Harbinger. It just works. So, I very much so like the Selesnya. I like how it's put together. So, I'm happy to try playing it and see where it goes. We are going to just go ahead and pop that in there. So, we got Lifeline. I know Life Gain has been working pretty well for me so far. So, I'm very happy to see kind of how it's going to come about. What new things are going to be accessible. And I know there's not a whole ton of life gain stuff in Innistrad Midnight Hunt. There is a lot of +1/+1 counters, though. So we'll see what happens. Alright. So in a situation like this, while I do like the 2 Cleric class, I don't love this hand. So I am actually going to mulligan this. Now that's not very much better, but I think we're going to have to keep it just because. We got to hope we get some creatures in here, because... Oh, it's definitely not going to be good with a bunch of... Yeah, not going to be good with a bunch of haste stuff going on. Mono red is definitely very strong in this forefront. So we're going to have to see what happens in regards to this, but he's going to attack with the Javelineers and not the Raging Goblin. Which is going to make sense, but I am going to Cleric class this. He is... he's got something. It's probably a trick. But he could have... I'll let that happen. Yeah. He's got a Hobgoblin Captain, which is not very great. I might actually Minimus Containment that. And then I'll just gain the 3 life that I got back. That I lost. Okay. So there's a Frostbite. Got it. So he did have the instant in his hand. Now, we don't have 5 mana. Yeah. Goblins are very strong in regards to this. What is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, there does not seem to be much I can do in regards to this. They're definitely going to powerhouse me to the end. Yeah. So, as I'm probably going to complain about in several of my videos, this is why there is a problem with Arena. And the problem is that, well, granted, it's not really a problem because they give you these cards. So it's not like you have to make them. But I just feel bad for the people who are... I feel bad for the people who want to play these decks in Standard and can't. Because it's not the same deck, so they'd have to make new cards to play it. And then you couldn't even playtest your deck. That's the other thing, is it makes playtesting your paper decks more difficult than anything else. Which is a big problem for me. Like, you definitely want to be... You want to be able to make, like, a difference there, right? So... Malakir, Blood Priest, okay. Free life. Not bad. I might be going a little crazy with my stuff, but... See, now I don't like that. I don't like that this is a thing. Yeah, we'll auto-pay. He's gonna get that damage off because I'm not gonna block it. That's fine. I do wish I drew more land. So now this is going to be a problem if I'm not drawing any more land. Got it. Nope, you can do that. Do that again. So I could Revitalize and then Devouring Tendrils the Wanty Fangblade. But they're going to kill it probably here. Yeah. Always the downside of... the Core Celebrant. Not what I want, but... get that again, yeah. So this is a dungeon delving kind of deck. We're gonna see what happens here. Nah, I'll take that damage. That's fine. You can delve again. Venture again. It loses a life. Okay, you're going to try to get your Death God thing out. That thing has got to die. Oh. Does that do? 2 less to cast during your end step. Core Celebrant. That's pretty much all I can do right here. So if they kill this creature, I'm pretty much dead. Okay, well, I'm not going to block because that's Death Touch, so... Now I could get back something else. I should have done this first. I would gladly take that. Okay, I gotta get rid of the guy. Oh, shoot. Dang, dude. This dang stuff, I tell ya. This is a good one. I think this actually is another one of those, the beginning decks. I think this is actually another, what do you call it, the color challenge decks that we're going against here. Real good. Gosh, I don't know. Get this freaking thing out of here, maybe? No, get this thing out of here. Doesn't matter, though. I've lost, but that's fine. So, yeah, so very good. If that is, in fact, the dungeon deck, maybe I just had a bad hand, but we definitely were, they had the removal, and they took care of it. The venturing in the dungeons is very, very interesting, you know, because it's like you get a lot of different opportunity for things, but it's also very, like, if your whole deck is based around venturing into the dungeon, I would have done the Mad Mage first. This is not an ideal hand because I don't have white mana. But you know what? I believe, if you guys believe. So, we're going to see how far we can get with this. Alright, Lonk. Perfect. Perfect. Prosperous Innkeeper. Got it. Another Prosperous Innkeeper. That's your turn. I'm gonna Arctic Tree Line. If he does anything... This is Simic, right? So, I wonder if this is Shapeshifter? 2 +1/+1 counters. Well, that wasn't a kick. That was definitely just that, so... Let's see. We'll just gladly keep doing that. I probably should have Cleric classed first. But... Get some land. Perfect. Let's see. You know what? Let's get Vrist out. Why not, right? No attacks. We like to go wide, but a 3/3 with double strike, pretty great. Scoot Swarm. Interesting. Definitely going to be a terrifying thing if that gets any crazier than it needs to, so... Got it. Okay. So we're going to start getting crazy with this, I guess. Perfect. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No, I think I want more cards. Perfect. Alright. Kind of easing our way through here. Okay. Shia sold the Innkeeper. Wow. Yeah, definitely powerful. And if he's got anything next turn to buff them, I mean, there's really not much. Oh. Wow. Yeah. See, imagine doing something like this in paper, right? I mean, imagine having to literally... That's a lot of life. A lot. Well, we could do this, but... I mean, they could block with a lot of shit, so... But, I mean... So what is that? Set, like... I mean, how do we even beat this, right? How do we beat this? I don't think we do. I mean, they've got so much here. I think the only thing we can do is out-counter them. Oh, it's unsummoning it to summon it again. And get more scoots. Yep. It's a lot of health. At this point, I just have to see it through, right? Like... So, the next time you tell me Scoot Swarm is not good at being a $5 rare, I want you to remember that that just happened. I'm going to take 17 damage here, right? Well, no, I don't want that anymore. It's too expensive. Graveyard to your hand. So I don't even get... obviously this. Alright, so 37 creatures. Another Ashaya. That sucks. I was so confident we had it. I was so confident. So confident we had it. No. Take a different action of the game element to draw. You fucking won't. It's gonna keep going. I'll take the draw. Like, I'm curious. Please, please, please continue. I love how it says take a different action like I have a choice. Come on, we're almost done. Now, board wipe. Doomscar. Okay, so 37 of them will come. I will block. I'm so mad. Like, man, you think it could have been an easy one. He's just going to play Scoot Swarm next turn, so... '70s Scoot Swarms. He's just going in for it. He doesn't want to wait much longer. Don't even care about this anymore. Yeah, there's no winning this, unfortunately, so... That's it. Alright. Good game. Well, next time somebody tells you Scoot Swarm is not one of the most powerful token generators, just remember, -49 to 139. Sorry to drag that out for all of you at home watching that, but I figured it'd just be fun to show you, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, I wanted to show that, you know, these are the things that could possibly get out of hand to the point where your deck is not going to be able to commit to that, right? I believe we saw that in a previous episode for Treasure Hunt, that I summoned Orcus. Orcus wiped out all the 1/1s. If I had a way to destroy all the 1/1s in there, we would have been fine. If I had some kind of board wipe, we would have been fine. There would not have been an issue there. But we did, in fact, I do not believe this deck runs a Doomscar. So we are just kind of at the mercy of, you know, whatever we get. And because of their, you know... Oh, this seems like a landfall kind of deal. It's another gain life kind of deal. I wonder if this is the same concept. This is the same deck. Tasha's? God damn. That is a solid pull. Tasha City's Laughter, I also expect to be such a powerful... Like, imagine this card in Commander. Like, let's just be honest, right? Like, card in Commander is ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna see what happens here. Gonna get a life. Okay, get the 4/4. Cool, great. Plains. Okay, you get the life. That. You get a land. So you get another snow land in there. It's a 6/4 creature. You're probably going to swing with. Yes. That's fine. My whole thing is based on gaining life. When your deck is based on gaining life, it's okay to take these small little losses here. Because it is going to be more worth it to you in the end. Perfect. Bubble Snare. Expected that. Another Spirit of the Elder Guard. Cool. Maybe I'll get another Tendril thing. That'd be cool. Actually. No. I'll just block it. I'll gladly take that 8/4 out of there. They didn't even kick that. Weird. Okay. Another one? I don't know why you wouldn't have just waited to kick that. But that way this didn't die when you swung, but I guess to each their own. Do I have 5? I do have 5. Okay, 2 X life or X is the greatest creature my house control. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. 2+1/+1 counters on. We'll put it on Core Celebrant. Target a player. Gets X life or X is the greatest power. And then target a creature I control and a creature I don't control. And that's on winning. Perfect. So we're at least, hopefully we're going to get a win from this. But this guy's pretty much gone through, I mean, what, 4, 8? There's at least 13 lands of theirs on the board right now. Back that Pillar Unicorn, baby! So that's the kind of thing, like, when you genuinely want to see, like, that would have ruined me. I think that's the only thing that would have probably taken me out faster than anything else, is if I straight up did not have, He's got to block. Block my stuff. Block my stuff. So if he pulls the Tasha's and it ends up being something nuts, then that's kind of unfortunate. But Tasha's Hideous Laughter is absolutely another one of my favorite cards from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set. Like, when people tell me that Adventures in the Forgotten Realms has 0 power level at all, Tasha's Hideous Laughter is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I do not believe them when they say that. I don't believe them when they say, oh, power level's bad, but then you look at things like Inferno of the Star Mounts and Old Gnawbone and Tasha's Hideous Laughter and Demilich and Mordekainen and Loth and all these cards, and they're like genuinely good cards. And the first thing they can think of is, it's not going to work. Okay. Actually not bad of a hand, so I think we'll start it off with a Cleric class. So Cleric class, always play Cleric class. It just makes sense, so... Play Trelasara. Do they think I'm going to gain life next turn? Who knows? I don't have any land, though. It's not fun. I don't want to have no land. They also don't have anything? That's a legendary creature. They have land, but they aren't playing anything. Gonna block it. Land, perfect. Cloudkin Seer. I guess I'm not gonna do anything, but... So this seems very mono blue control? Is that what this is? A mono blue control deck? I imagine they probably have... Ooh. I'm gonna wait for him to attack with Imrith. I'm gonna wait for him to swing with Imrith. And then I'm gonna Minimus Containment his ass. If he's smart, he won't attack with Imrith. Oh, well, he also has a ton of mana, so... Free damage. He doesn't get the draw. Or he does draw one, I guess. I don't know. Guess we gotta try it, right? He's got counter. Absolutely. Yep. Oh, he's gonna unsummon it. Not very great. Dang. Mono blue control. Imrith also is another one of the dragons that I just can't believe people are like, this deck, this whole set's power level is so bad. There's another thing I'm mad about. Those arena cards. I need to start gaining life. I need to start gaining life. Because if I don't gain life, I am not going to be getting anything for this. Sucks. Okay. It's just one of the things. This card right here needs to go. This card is useless. Oh, look at that, Mordekainen. Perfect.
I can create your doom in dog form.
Perfect. I love it. Icing Death. That's not a card I want. It's nice. Yes. I can't attack. This is such a powerful thing here. I'm absolutely gonna block that. Look at that. It's still nothing. Another one. I forgot he can just keep making them. Perfect. And then play Imrith. Alright, we are not going to win that one, unfortunately. I don't usually concede, but that definitely was not going to happen. So, obviously, there's some cards in there that definitely could have... There's some cards in there that definitely could have been utilized better. There could have been some better picks for that. But the general idea behind that deck is kind of the same concept. You wanted cards that give you life and cards that help boost your creature's power and toughness, and also maybe even bring them back from the grave, like with Cleric class. So, I love the idea behind Selesnya, but unfortunately Selesnya is just so slow compared to a lot of other decks. A lot of it is playing a lot of low-cost stuff that dies easily to removal. And then you have a bunch of your stuff in your graveyard, and not enough creatures on the board for you to kind of boom with that. Now, a card that would go really well in there is Scoot Swarm, for instance. Because you play green-white, Scoot Swarm would be a fantastic green card to have in there, because you do get the consistent, after your 5th land, you make a copy of Scoot Swarm, and then you play another land, and then you get 2 copies of the Scoot Swarm, so on and so forth, until eventually you get to do something. So that's kind of where it's better to do that. It's better to wait that out. So I think Scoot Swarm might be a good choice for that. Definitely better than that Pillar Drop Spirit or whatever that thing was. That was definitely not a very good card to have in that set. But I had fun, and I hope you guys had fun too. I know Lifeline obviously can be changed around for a bit, and who knows, we'll probably do an update video where we can give ourselves some cards if we have the cards. I don't plan on spending much wild cards on this, but as far as finding out what cards might work and what cards might not, you can always go ahead and check that out. And when you want to know when that's live, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We try to do daily videos. I'm getting kind of better at making either daily videos or at least 4 videos a week-ish, roughly. But daily videos is what I strive to do, so daily videos is what I'm going to continue to try and push out for you guys. But also make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed this content. I know these are long ones because we do go through a lot of different play styles, but all in all, it kind of gives a good idea of how this deck works in the current standard, and what nice things it has in store for it when Innistrad Midnight Hunt comes out. But again, thank you so much, and please make sure to drink your water, eat your vegetables, and don't be a dick. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. All right. Nerd out.